Shields up, Ironbreakers. We're kind of here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and today I'm going to be bringing you another one of my builds. This time around, it is going to be a hammer build, kind of to go along with the previous video that I uploaded onto the channel, which is my hammer crash course, where I go over the basics of utilizing the hammer, some of the new stuff that is in Iceborne. So, if you guys are checking out this build and you're wondering if you want to get into hammer, you might want to check out that video. I'm going to put a link on the top right-hand side of this one in case you missed it. But anyway, let's get into the build itself. For a weapon, we're going to be going for the main Malice Rajang, which is basically Rajang's head on a stick. And the real cool thing about this weapon is that when you power it up to level 3, it basically goes Super Saiyan. It is the only weapon in the game, at least that I'm aware of, that goes Super Saiyan. So I just had to make a build around this particular weapon. There was just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also, the fact that it is the hammer with the highest raw damage in the game also kind of helps out, but you know, it is what it is. So as you guys can see, we got a ton of raw damage. We got really bad sharpness, but we're going to be correcting it with some handicraft. We still end up with -5 affinity after our augmentations, and we have some really crappy thunder damage, which is basically there just to prevent you from using the elementalist decoration on that weapon. At least that's the way that I choose to see things. But anyway, yeah, don't worry about the thunder element. The thing that we're going after this particular weapon is that 1612 raw damage. Now, when it comes to augmentations, I went naturally with health regen because, you know, I like comfiness. I like being able to beat the crap out of monsters and trade. And with this weapon, you can trade with a lot of monsters, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to put an affinity increase in there as well to offset the base -15% affinity this weapon comes with. Now, when it comes to decorations on the weapon itself, we're going to be putting a KO/Vitality Jewel because, you know, we're going to try to max out that slugger. It's going to be real sweet. You guys will see by the time we get to the end. But in order to max out that slugger, we're going to be needing to use some Diablos armor pieces, and we're going to be starting with the Diablos Nero's Helm. Now, I pick specific pieces of the Diablos set that actually have skills that I want to be using in the set. In this case, we are going to be getting Part Breaker as well, so that in case we need to break something skull, like say for instance something extremely stubborn like a Lunostra's horns or Sharish Valda's head, this hammer is gonna get the job done. It's also gonna KO the crap out of them, so it's gonna be a really good weapon both in terms of solo as well as in team play. And I said good weapon, I meant a good build. I mean, at least a good build overall. Anyway, in that Diablos Nero Helm beta, we're going to be starting things off with an Expert Jewel +4 and a regular Expert Jewel. Then we're going to be going for the Diablos Male beta. We're going to get a little bit of that sexy slugger in there. We're also going to get Heroics, but we're not really going after that. It just happens to be there. And in there, we're going to be putting Tenderizer/Vitality. And I know you guys, this one's a rare one. Not a lot of people have this one. I know that it took me a long-ass time to get it. But hey, if you don't have this, just get regular Tenderizer Jewels. I'm sorry, dude. And then you also have another Expert decoration. We're going to be maxing out Critical Eye because we really need to get them crits in. Then we have the Karen Long Arms beta. And this is going to be a bit of a weird choice. People are going to go like, well, what? Why are you boosting the thunder damage of the weapon? You said the thunder damage was trash. You're right. The thunder damage is trash, but when it comes to decoration slots, the Karen Longarms beta is also the best in the business. So I figured, hey, you know what? Might as well pick up them Karen Longarms and get a little bit of extra thunder attack. It's not really going to hurt. It's not going to help that much, but it's not going to hurt either. And at the same time, you get a lot of really good decos. If you don't want to get the Karen Longarms, you might want to go with the Acidic Glavenus Longarms, which also come with stun resistance, which could be useful, even though I'm not getting stun resistance in this particular build. But, you know, that's going to be your choice, but then you might struggle with a couple of the decorations, so keep that in mind. Anyways, continuing onwards, in here we're going to be putting a Destroyer Vitality Jewel, 2 critical jewels in there as well, and then finally we go for the Diablos Nero Coil Beta, which is going to give us 2 more points of Slugger, which coupled together with the KO Vitality we put on the weapon, we're going to max out Secret Slugger, which is going to be pretty sweet. Now we go Tenderizer Protection Jewel 4, because I really don't have another Tenderizer Vitality. But I also don't think I need it because I'm pretty sure I max out Vitality in this build somewhere along the way. But beyond that, we also have a Drain Jewel. Now, I'd love to get more Drain, but unfortunately, you know, budget being what it is, I prioritized Slugger over Drain, but still getting a little bit of Drain in there also helps out. Finally, we got the Garuga Greaves beta. We're going to be putting some Flight Expert Jewel in there, as well as another Crit Jewel and another Tenderizer Jewel. Now, the Flight Expert Jewel is basically so that you can always do aerial attacks, because as you know, if you slide down a slope, you can do the mid-air spinning bludgeon, which is really powerful, and whenever you have walls, you can also do the spinning bludgeon. Basically, spinning bludgeon is a really powerful move, and I want to be able to use it whenever I want. Also, just jumping off of stuff allows you to get additional aerial damage, so it's always good to have. Finally, we wrap everything up with a Handicraft Charm 4 because of the fact that our weapon has really bad sharpness. And in terms of mantles, I'm going to be going with the Glider Mantle, but you will be wanting to swap this mantle depending on what you are fighting. For instance, if you're fighting a Teostra, you probably want to bring in a Fireproof Mantle instead. If you're fighting something that you feel you need a different mantle, swap that around. Mantles are very much on a case-by-case basis, but if you happen to be able to use the Glider Mantle, I'm going to be sticking it with a Challenger Deco +4. I only have one of these. If I had two, I'd put two of them in there, and then another Challenger with something else. So basically, the idea is whatever mantle you put on here, try to get some Agitator on there. It's going to help you out. And then finally, we have a Rocksteady Mantle with 2 protection decorations, because whenever you put on that Rocksteady, you know that you're going to mean business, and you're just going to go up to the monster, beat the crap out of him. So having a little bit more Divine Blessing is going to help you out with that. Taking a look at the final build, as you guys can see right here, we got Critical Eye level 7, Slugger level 5, which is freaking sweet, Handicraft level 4 to offset the terrible sharpness of this weapon, Health Boost level 3 to make sure that you actually survive and you can actually trade hits with the monsters, Thunder Attack 3, that is coming from the gloves. Like I said, we are boosting the Thunder Attack of the weapon a little bit, but the Thunder Attack is completely, you can ignore it, okay? Don't even worry about it. Then finally, we got level 3 Critical Boost for those meaty crits, Weakness Exploit level 3, Part Breaker level 3. This is mostly because I like the idea of part breaking with the hammer, and also because the helmet comes with level 2 Part Breaker anyways, so might as well fill that up and get maximum Part Breaker. If you don't want to get maximum Part Breaker, maybe get some additional Stamina Thief in there, because that would also be good. You got Airborne, you got Heroics, which we're not really going for Heroics. When you got the Rocksteady Mantle up, we're going to have level 3 Divine Blessing, and finally you have level 3 Agitator whenever you have the Glider Mantle on, or whatever other mantle you happen to put on. You should have at least like 2 additional Agitator, which is going to increase your attack so long as the monster is enraged, which most likely is going to be most of the time. Now, when it comes to the hammer, this build is not going to deal as much damage as my previous build. The previous build that I did was the Velkhana build, which basically had 4-piece Velkhana set bonus, and it's very hard for me to reach that level of damage without having that 4-piece bonus. I think it's like additional 30% damage. It's just too much. It's just too much to really offset. The thing about that other set, though, is that when you really get going, right, when you really get your Bing Bang going, and I think I said Bing Bang again. I think it's because, like, I have a stuffed nose. I'm sorry. But basically, when you get your Big Bang going, you know, you're going to burn through the Velkhana set bonus in no time. So this other build allows you to get your big bangs going and not have to worry too much about the Velkhana bonus. But like I said, the really big numbers are going to be in the Velkhana build that I made. This one is more about knocking things out and breaking things. And I'll be honest, I'm okay with that. I'm okay sacrificing a little bit of damage for a little bit of breakage and stunnage. That's the way that I look at this build. But as always, you guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. If this video helped you out, if you end up using this build or adapting it, again, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, if you think the build is bad, hit the dislike button, because feedback is important. If you usually like my content, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all of that good stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, stay strong and may your shields never break.